Alright, so let us work on the eyes now. So first of all, we have to divide these eyes into two. Alright, so what we'll do is to mask out the area we want to cut out. So let me show you that how it's done. Okay, remember your shortcut, you can use your move. Okay, you know, move and snap it to the other side. I'm still going to adjust my head, by the way. So with the eye selector, let us activate the transparency, hold down Control and draw a mask in the middle. Alright, so mask outside to clear it. Right, masking outside to clear. I'm just showing you how to clean it if you mistakenly drew what you didn't want. So when you drew that, what we want to do is, you know, now as this is masked, all right, whatever you try to paint here, so let's try, let me show you. So if I try to add a clay build-up brush here, for example, all right, you see that mask area is not affected. Okay, but if I hold down Control and click outside, it will invert the mask. All right, if you hold down Control and click outside, it will invert the mask. So whatever I start doing here now, it will show up. All right, so I'll Control Z that. Just keep that in mind, that whatever you mask, right, will not be affected by the sculpt or the brush you'll be using. So since that is done, so hold down Control, click outside to invert the mask selection. So it's the one in the middle that is now active. All right, so Control Z that. So when that is done, the next thing we want to do is to extract from this mask the eyelid. All right, so how do we do that? Follow me carefully. Go to your sub tool. Remember your sub tool, click on your sub tool, scroll, and you find a button called extract. So when you open that, and once you hit this button extract, it calculates and extracts an eyelid. So it now creates a duplicate from the mask. All right, so let's do that again. So the thickness is too low, so I want to increase the thickness a bit and hit, you know, extract. So it becomes too high, so you want to play with this till, you know, you get the right, you know, extract. So okay, I think I'm okay with this one. So it's at 0.0495. all right, so when that is done, you just click accept. So it now creates a mask for you, a duplicate of the mask you created. All right, so don't forget, this is now two objects. So if you come to your sub tool now, you'll see your eyes is still here, and this is your, you know, object here. So the next thing we want to do is to go back to our transparency, draw a mask outside to clear the marks of this eyelid. Remember, this eye is still there, so we want to draw another mask to mask this, to mask them different, because they are now together. So we want to mask them different, so you draw a mask around this one. So the other one is now, if we deactivate the transparency, so whatever you do here won't affect this one, whatever you do here won't affect this one. So we want to mask, you know, them at different points. So let me start working on this one. So I held Control and click outside to invert, you know, the mask. So we want to now start adjusting our eyelids. All right, so it's assumed that this character's eye is big and it has to open his eyes. All right, he has an open eyes. Okay, so let's start working on that. So I'll select my move brush, and start adjusting them. You know, don't go too wild. Okay, so it's bit by bit, zoom in, you know, adjust your brush size, okay, to influence a reasonable amount of the sculpt. So if I press S and reduce, I'll just, you know, be working around this. Okay, so you can see it happening the other way. So if I hold Control and click the other side, so I can adjust, make same adjustment on this one too. So we are now creating a cartoon. All right, of this guy. So I just keep adjusting and adjusting till, you know, I don't have to be perfect. So you see it's too thick and it's opening. So you want to see, you know, what you're doing from different, you know, angles. Yeah. So you see I'm adjusting mine. Alright, so I'm still adjusting. So usually, you know, the eyes always meet at some point, so we have to raise this part of the eyes up a bit. So invert selection. So you just keep playing with it. So it assumes that this is a cartoon, okay? So you just keep adjusting till, you know, you're satisfied, okay? So you can also smooth, hold down shift to smoothen, all right, your sculpt. So I'm adjusting, so you can do the same. Don't rush, don't try to, you know, do gang stuff. You're just learning, all right? So let me even shock you. This is the first time, you know, I just decided to do the head. You know, usually I deal with characters, so I just decided to use this as a simple way of, you know, showing. So I'm holding down shift and, you know, polishing this up to make it smooth, okay? So the good thing about it is that it's mirrored to the other side. So that's what is going on now. So you can choose to, you know, do this however you want it, okay? You can choose to make this character have a sleepy eyes, for example. So I'm going to give it that sleepy look. So, you know, I'm just using the move and the smooth brush. So you see, I'm not using too many brushes. So just the smooth and the, you know, the move brush. So I'm just moving things around, adjusting it as it deemed fit. So you don't have to follow, you know, me 100%. So just play with it, have fun. All right, just have fun with this. This is sweet. I mean, I enjoy sculpting. All right. So when I'm bored, I'll just pick up a character. In fact, I'm working on a character right now. I'm working on it. I think we should use that character as a case study. I don't know if you know this online comedian Taoma. So I met her one time, and she's really an interesting person. So I just decided, okay, let me create a character of, you know, Taoma. So I think we'll all learn how to create Taoma in 3D next week. All right. So, and this is important, and it is important for you to, you know, learn the basics, especially these brushes. So the way it is like this, we'll have to, you know, separate these eyelids to different tools, sub-tools or layers, okay, so that when we can, you know, when we clear the marks, we can still make adjustments to them individually. So how do we do that? With the marks still selected, we'll just come here and look for split. So we have to split on max point or split max point, whichever one you choose works for you. So you want to split on max point, so it means that when you split on max point, it means that the unmaxed part will separate from the max part. If you split max point, it means that the max part will separate from the max. So whichever one you choose, the split in parts, we'll go in depth about that. So I'll show you what split in parts really means. So I want to click on split on max point. So if you come here, you'll see that they are now separate objects. So if I hold down Alt, I can you know, activate any of them. So you can still come here and select whichever one you want to work on. So see you in the next class. So in the next class, we'll see how we would add eyebrows, we'll add nose, we'll add, you know, mouth. So you're learning about the anatomy of the face actually. So I want you to be practical about it, all right, so that you really understand how all these things work. So I'm going to see you in the next class. Please do not rush this, okay? It's really important that you don't try to be perfect. Don't try to rush this. All right, so look at it from other perspectives. The same thing with life. You know, you can't really draw, you know, conclusions about your own life by looking at it from one perspective. So you have to look at it from other perspective. I mean, 3D has taught me a whole lot about life. So, and I can't, you know, afford to make the same mistake, you know, about life. So if I'm making mistake about 3D, I mean, life also should also, you know, answer to me. All right, I don't know if I make sense. So you have to follow through. All right. See you in the next class. Sorry if you may hear any voices. My neighbors, I don't know what they are excited about. So see you in the next class. All right.